Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Kol halal Yahweh Shem Yehoshua Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the other apostles and other bishops, the great millstones, even the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutation to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David and the Elder Yashawan. Back with a quick lesson. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. Go on a little journey with me. Let's type something in and figure out what it means, okay? It's what? Is June? How about this? It's not over what? It's not over what? Let's see if it comes up. O-B-E-R. Over till. See? This. It's not over till the fat lady sings. The name of this lesson is going to be The Fat Lady is Singing. The Fat Lady's Singing. Let's get a thumbnail. It ain't over. Well, she's singing. Let's see. Keep calm. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Which one do we use? She's singing right now. It's over. This. Which one should we use? It's over. It's officially over. The fat lady singing. How you go? How you go? Let's see, which one? I don't know. This one. The fat lady is Babylon the Great. Is fallen is fallen. Yeah? All right, so let's go to AI. It ain't over till the fat lady sings is a classic idiom meaning you shouldn't presume the final outcome of an event that is still in progress. Well, we don't mean it that way. We mean that the fat lady is singing right now. Okay? It ain't over until the fat lady sings. Well, guess what? She's singing right now. We're at the end. That's what it means. It ain't over until the fat lady sings. You shouldn't presume the final outcome. No, we're at the final outcome. This is not about that. We're using it differently. Oh, Brunhilde, you're so lovely. Yes, I know it. I can't help it. Colloquialism. Okay? Anyway, what we're here to do is to show, let's see. How about the fat lady is singing? The fat lady is singing. What does this mean? The fat lady is singing, meaning, what does that mean? It went back to what I was talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. The fat lady is singing. It's not going to go the other way. All right. So, what I want to do is I want to listen to a little bit of this. Let's see. Let's get a precept. Let's get it will not tarry. And I wanted to say something else too, because the reason, this is the reason. What is the reason why the MOTB is about to be the next big thing. Not TARR. It will not tear. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end, what? It shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Let's look at this here in the NLT. Habakkuk 2 and 3 in the NLT, the vision is for future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Okay, so we're here now at this time. Okay, now what I want to point out, okay, this is Stephen Banu with Israeli News Live. Okay, what is he asking? It's an hour ago, right now. Does Iran have nukes? Okay, why is the MOTB the next big thing? Because Iran has nukes. Iran having nukes is going to slow down the war. Otherwise, the war, they'd be lobbing ICBMs at each other before the MOTB comes out. So there's a sequence in the Revelation 3. There's a sequence in prophecy. There's an order. Okay? And what has to happen, the war has to slow down. Why is the war going to slow down? Because Iran now has nukes. What was Donald Trump? He said his sole purpose, oh, Iran cannot have a nuke. Iran can't have a nuke. What now? Now that they got one, now what? Now what? Now you back the fuck up and give the MOTB space to come into center stage. That's what you're watching right now. Okay, so Revelation 3 and 10, right? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, this has to take place before those before those ICBMs. You understand? Because there's a sequence, there's an order of how the prophecies are going to take place, and this one, the MOTB, right, has to go all the way through to the hour of temptation, has to come first before this place gets destroyed. And we know that. What is the reason? Well, what's taking the war so long? This. The discovery of this. Oh, these niggas. Oh, back the fuck up. Stop talking reckless now. Act like you got some sense. Can't just talk shit like you the only one that got a nuke now. Back the fuck up. All right, so here's what's going on. The fat lady is right singing right now. You have to have all this information. Okay? If you don't have this information and the sequence of how things will transpire, your ass is out of order. You don't understand the MOTB and the role that it plays in the sequence of prophecy, in the order of things, your ass is out of order. And you don't understand shit. Anyway, listen to what he says immediately. This guy's going to be talking about the old world order, which they're calling the new world order, which doesn't have a chance. Listen to what he's going to say. Meaning what? The fat lady is singing right now. It's not over till she sings. She's got to sing first, and then it's over. Well, she's singing right now, meaning we're at the end. Go.
Listen, we have an old world order calling itself new, desperately using up every bit of humanity, ruthlessly, to ensure that they cannot allow it to lose power to the east. That's what's really going on here. It's their, to use a little bit of Farsi, they're shoving put against the tide. It's not going to work. Martin Armstrong's code sees very clearly that it's not going to work. And anybody with a half a brain, when you study a little bit of history and see what's really going on economically, knows that we're on a losing game right now. And plus, there is a religious component. And this manifest destiny, apparently the fundamentalist Jewish components in Israel, and the evangelicals and the Americans, have been drawn into something that's quite contrary, in my view, to the original thesis of their religions. What's going on is that they brought themselves to the belief that God is completely on their side, and that we're going to prevail over these Muslims, and that all we have to do is just keep at it and do what we're doing and try to keep the world in the order it's been for the last couple of hundred years. Well, that's not going to work. Regardless of what you think in terms of the merits of Islam versus Judaism and Christianity, the whole thesis is really anti-human. So anyway, of course, you see that there are many dimensions to this area of discussion, and I'm trying to stay focused. I see a situation in which there is an economic war being waged under the cloak of religion, convincing peoples of these nations in the West that they should continue waging war as they are to dissolve Russia, because they're the old nasty Russian enemy, and Iran because they're the old, they're a bunch of stupid towel heads? I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't have to particularly appreciate Islam necessarily to appreciate the fact that they're a very sophisticated country down there in Iran and Russia.
Esau knows that he's doomed. Esau is speaking for Esau right now. He said, we are fucking up right now. We're walking into our own demise. This is what he's saying. Because he knows that they're all the same. Look at Benoon. Benoon has what? He has dual citizenship, so they know that they're both. We're the Israelis and we're the Americans. We're the Edomites. Guess what? Vlad is one too. So is the Ukraine. You guys are all fighting each other, aren't you? Aren't you? Hell, those Elamites, that they think that they are Edomites. And I'm sure that a lot of them over there that are heads of state, I'm sure that they are. You understand? That's how everything works. You go to Mexico, right? Who's over there speaking Spanish? Head of state, right? Small hats, and everyone else. Eat them. Get it? Anyway, it's over. The fat lady is singing. This is what he's saying. Okay? Why? Because they're at war with each other. All right? They're at war with the world and each other. And it's going to culminate in World War II. But the fact that Iran has nukes now is going to slow the momentum of what we see in what they call the Middle East. And what's going to take center stage? The sea hip. Because they're going to use this as an excuse to slow the war. Okay, well, all right, well, since we can't kill each other right now, let's just focus on what we should be, right? Let's get everybody back on what is it? On track. Let's get them back on the track. Get your focus back on this track, which is NWO that ain't going to come to fruition because the fat lady's singing. He's running out of time. Then they're going to come at each other. See, this them coming at each other thing that he's describing is more than them coming together. Them attacking each other. See, because this devil, he's only got one fucking on his dial of things to do. He's got one position: murder and lie. It's not two, it's one. Murderous liar. He's stuck on that one selection. His selector switch has one selection. It's called murderous liar. And as much as he wants to do anything else, guess what? He's not programmed to do anything other than that until he be taken out of the way, until he's not needed to do that anymore. See, the Most High, he needs somebody. That law that you just broke is punishable by death. Esau, where you at? He called Esau. I need somebody who specializes, right, in putting a black ass nigga to death because he broke my law, and I created Esau for that very purpose. Esau, if you don't present yourself right now and go do your best, right? So the moment that we're all righteous, right, in the kingdom, there's no more need for Esau. His employment is terminated at that point. But we no longer need it. You guys are never going to sin again, and we don't have to, exact punishment and death because that law is not punishable by death anymore. There's no need for this murderous liar who's only programmed to do one thing. We got to get him out of here. He's a nuisance at this point. Yeah, we're all righteous over here. Anyway, but these devils exact their own demise. And this is their new song. What is their new song? The Fat Lady Singing.
Of course, a very sophisticated country, both of them much older than the United States. And then what's really going on is that the idea of might makes right, and you have to conquer your enemy and control them to go into the future. And this philosophy is what's governing right now, Steve.
Well, Steve, let me ask you.
This philosophy that he just described, that you have to kill your enemy, you have to destroy everybody around you because you're an automaton. Esau's just built like that. He can't help it.
To go into the future. And
He's explaining it. He's trying to. He said shit is unsustainable.
Peoples of these nations in the West, that they should continue waging war as they are to dissolve Russia, because they're the old nasty Russian enemy, and Iran because they're the old, they're a bunch of stupid towel heads? I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't have to particularly appreciate Islam necessarily to appreciate the fact that they're a very sophisticated country down there in Iran, and Russia is, of course, a very sophisticated country, both of them much older than the United States. And then what's really going on is that the idea of might makes right, and you have to conquer your enemy and control them to go into the future. And this philosophy is what's governing right now, Steve.
Well, Steve, let me ask.
No, that's the right spirit. You do have to conquer your enemy, control him to move into the future. That's correct. And may the best man win. Okay. And you know who that is? That's Yahweh. He's the best man. He's gonna win. You can conquer his enemy and move into the future. That's exactly it. You're on point. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. You're just at the wrong end of that. You understand? You're at the wrong end of that. You did that. You enjoyed the fruits of it all the way for your time, which was a short season, right? Short season's up. Now it's time for that to happen to you. Times 10, times 2, times 10, right? 7 is perfection. What's perfection? 7? Understand? It's just time. Nobody can stop what is about to happen. Our job is to know what is going to happen, tell people, right, so that they know, the people that are supposed to receive it. You're going to receive it whether you want to or not. That's the way it was written. Okay, so Fat Lady Singing. We could go on with more. The Fat Lady Singing is doom and gloom for certain people, right? Because that's just the way it was written. We got to go through it and sit back, get your popcorn.
This here, and speaking about Trump and Netanyahu, let's kind of shift over towards Iran right now because, as you know, back on May the 20th, that's when Pedram had first shared with me, and he's got
16.
very high level contact.
So like it's 1630? 17. 1630. What was this? 1630. Let's see. No, it's true. 16. Let me see if this is it.
Days straight trying to penetrate this with bunker busters and never could.
I'm trying to get to the question of does Iran have nukes?
You know, and gosh, you know, I mean, now granted, Larry Johnson brought out an element that I was not expecting when he said that Pakistan was working with them to test it. Now, we had discussed, you and I on air a week before he come out, and we had talked about how that Pedram said that they wanted to test, and they were debating whether to do it on land, whether to do it on
Test
the
what?
ocean,
What are we
and
talking
of
about?
course they were concerned about.
Slovakia. So it's before 16. Let's go right here. See if we can get them saying they have one.
As you get more enriched, it's easier to get the percentage higher. It takes very fewer SWUs per percent. SWUs are a unit of separation which can be connected with so many kilowatt hours.
Nigga, do they have a bomb or not?
It depends very heavily upon the method, whether it's electromagnetic separation, which is very inefficient, gaseous diffusion, which is still sort of inefficient, or gas centrifuge, which is very efficient, which is what the Iranians have, what the Pakistanis have, over Tintec. And
You know, Steve, he had, one thing that Pedram had mentioned to me is, and I'm not familiar with this part of nuclear at all. You are, but he had talked about that they had gotten centrifuges sometime back from Pakistan, and he said that they had them in 3 different locations in underground mountain facilities. He said this is the reason why on one of those facilities, the United States and Israel bombed 50 days straight trying to penetrate this with bunker busters and never could. You know, and gosh, you know, I mean, now granted, Larry Johnson brought out an element that I was not expecting when he said that Pakistan was working,
which is a different matter entirely, nuclear cores, are only one part of the whole show. Most of it is all of the architecture of the bomb, the reflectors,
Slovakia.
these are existential threats. And so putting the bomb together is not an act of imperialism and genocide. It's an act of self-preservation at this point, and possibly. And listen, back last winter, and I had to keep away from the confidential discussions and the dimensions they reached with Ukrainian connections. We discussed nuclear warheads, of course, and I made it very clear, where I stood on, yes, I could design something for them, but I didn't want to, and then but I did make it very clear that I said it was a mistake to give up the nuclear weapons back in the early 90s when they did. Even though I'm opposed to nuclear proliferation, I think we should be going in the direction of getting away from these weapons and the thought and need of them. But we're in a reality situation. Once again, we have to parse out idealism and reality and the trajectory toward the ideal. But right now, both Iran and Ukraine, for slightly different reasons, need nuclear arsenals to actually stabilize. The reason is, it's not because raise their ability to wage war, that is, to actually cause them to wage war more effectively, but to cause a shift towards deterrent. North Korea is the flying example.
This guy was sent out to give out the soft blow. Okay? They're slowly rolling out the fact that Iran has nukes. See, does Iran know? They're using Stephen. Stephen got firsthand information going back 2 to 3 weeks. He stands on that now. Everybody else, Larry John, everybody else is slowly coming out to get the world to understand what Iran has nukes, which is why they slowed down over there. They had to slow the fuck down and change the rhetoric, change the tone. They're no longer saying, open the fucking street, you fucking bad. Oh, that's over. Why? Because they built them bombs and threatened. All right? So that's why the tone has changed. Now, why did the Most High do that? Because CHIP has got to come first. All right, so hopefully I was able to show that. All right, that's what's going on. Let's go here real quick. Is this up 15? Let's get Sirach 5 and 15 real quick. Because you got to know, as we measure, you got to know that these things are in place. Sirach 5 and 15, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. With that, we pray that the elect ratifies your brother and few sisters. Keep your eye on the war, how quickly it's progressing, but guess what's going to come before the missiles do? That sea hell. It's going to be brutal. So with that, we pray that the elect ratified. Shabbat shalom.